Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Coins, RPGs, and more. In this episode, we are going to continue the story of Addy and Rafi as they have moved past the rat nest that they discovered in a last session and are moving deeper into the sewers underneath Hassenberg. Before we get into the story though, last session was the 5th session with Addy and the second session with Rafi, which means that both of them have gained a level. So Addy gets, let's double check, they're both rogues, or thieves. So they will both gain, so Addy is going to gain 1 extra hit point, Rafi is going to gain 1 entire hit die. So let's add Addy's. Her hit points are now a grand total of 12. Her saving throw becomes a 13. And all of her thief abilities also are increased by a +1, or additional 1, which, because we're using the 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus method, that means that they actually go down 1 number. So all the 5 plus abilities are now 4 plus abilities. The 4 plus abilities are now 3 plus abilities. The 3 plus ability is now a 2 plus ability, and the 2 plus ability stays where it is because you can't get better than a 2 plus without just automatic success. Okay, the next part that's going to increase. She gets a +1 to all of her attack rolls, and her saving throw becomes a 13. I already did that, but she's going to +1 to all of her attack rolls. Yay! So that's a +1 to the sword, and then it's going to be a +2 to the dagger for when it's thrown. That's cool. That's very cool. Okay, that brings us to, that's hers finished. Well, let's go and do Rafi real quick. Rafi gets a whole hit die. So let's roll that d6. 4. That brings him up to a grand total of 10. His saving throw goes from a 15 to a 14. But he doesn't gain any other bonuses. Okay. Everyone's leveled up. Let's get back to the story. Having gathered up their 7 gold pieces worth of coins and their 2 rat tails, our intrepid adventurers begin to move further into the sewers. What do they find next? Let's roll the die and see. The sewer pipe continues moving forward in a straight line. Okay. Moving ahead again. Once again, forward to us in a straight line. Moving ahead once more. They come to an intersection. This intersection only has one other exit, but that means it's going to be a turn. I am going to say that this is going to be a turn to the right. Mostly because if I turn down, I run off the map. If I keep them going straight, I'll run off the map. So I'll go right to go up to a more open area on the map. Now that's 3 places without something happening. So something is going to happen. First, let's check for regular random encounter. Okay, Random encounter it is. Okay. They encounter a dead body. So, moving in, Addy has her torch held high, her throwing dagger in her hand, while Rafe is walking behind her with another arrow knocked to his bow. And then Addy holds up her hand, the one with the dagger. Shh! There's something up ahead. Right. And Rafe kind of kneels down, putting one knee into the sludge at the bottom to steady his shot as he watches her move closer to whatever's up ahead. Addy closes with this shape that she saw slowly, and the torchlight flickers, and she sees flesh. She sees an arm and a leg. And then the torso becomes more distinct and clear as it's wrapped in this brown slurry of cloth and gunk, because the body is partially submerged in the muck in the corner of the sewer. Hello? Hello? Are you injured? Do you need help? She steps forward a little bit more. The form does not move. She kicks it. Boom! It doesn't move. Feeling a little bit bolder, Addy checks down, doesn't see anything coming from the other side of the hallway. She moves a bit closer, and using the tip of her dagger, she prods the body just a little bit, just enough to, startle someone who might be asleep. And it doesn't start. It doesn't move. Nothing. No response. Reaching a bit more, Addy grabs the shoulder and turns it closer to her. And she sees, oh, that's gross. It's the rotting body, rotting flesh. There's maggots coming out of a place where a giant rat tore out the throat of this adventurer. At least she assumes that this was a giant rat. Whoever was down here, they got horribly murdered and their body dumped. Addy takes a step back. Oh, goodness. Rafe, get up here. Rafe makes his way up. Oh. And he moves forward and he starts to inspect the body. And shakes his head. Probably long dead. I mean, a few days. I wonder who they were. Male or female? Let's roll to find out. Male. Okay. Poor bastard. Excuse my language. Poor guy. Let's search. Maybe there's something that can help us identify them. Rafe's going to make a wisdom check to see if he finds anything useful on the body. That's a 19. Rafe he goes through one of the pockets. He finds some coins. About 1 gold piece worth of coins. So let's say he finds a couple of coppers, a couple of silvers. Shakes his head. I don't know. It's making me sick. Still haven't recovered from before. And he takes a few steps back. Addy's going to move forward a little bit more. She's a bit more civic-minded than Rafe is. She will make her attempt to search the body. She rolled a 10 for wisdom. Wisdom is 9. If she's not able to find anything else aside from the obvious things that they already picked up, whoever this was, there's an empty dagger sheath on their belt. No weapon. No sign of who this person was, who this man was that was killed. Poor sod. We'll have to maybe report this to the authorities. Well, when we leave. Yeah, like they're gonna do anything. Well, we have to try, Rafe. We have to try. I mean, that's what my mother would do. Your mother, your mother, your mother. Anyway, let's keep going. Giant rats won't kill themselves. Reluctantly leaving the body behind, they venture further into the sewers. Let's see what they come to next. Another straight tunnel. Okay. And they keep moving forward. Addy with her dagger held at the ready. And Rafe behind her with the bow and arrow, also held at the ready. They come to another intersection. Again, only one direction it goes, so this is going to loop back around again to the right. And they keep moving forward. Another intersection. It's going to go to the left this time. Only one exit. I keep rolling ones and twos on this. But that's 3 spaces without something happening. So, we're going to roll. No random encounter. But now we're going to check on the big chart because something has to happen. This is getting a little on the boring side for our adventurers. Can't have that. 4 and 5. A 4 and a 5. 4 and a 5 on our chart is opposing a death or murder. Opposing a death or murder. As they round this corner, they find another lurking. One of the red bandits. The red bandits is there. It's one of the ones that they saw earlier. Although they recognize that person, but that person may not recognize them. Mist and fog and all that fun stuff. But they have a bloody dagger in their hand. And they're in the process of, they've got this other person pinned to the wall, another would-be adventurer perhaps, and they got their dagger held up in their hand. They've already stabbed this person once. They're about to finish the job. Addy instantly throws her knife, trying to save this person. Hiya! She yells. Rolling a 19. 5 points of damage minus 1 because its dagger becomes a 4. How many hit points does this bandit have? 2. Yeah! 2. And the red bandit falls to the ground as Addy's dagger sinks into their back. And they fall to the ground. And the person that they were trying to murder just kind of slumps against the wall, wounded from the first stab they received, but otherwise still alive. What kind of person have they just rescued? Okay, so let's do a little die roll to find out. 1 to 3, human. 4, hare. 5, dwarf. 6, elf. Yeah. 2, human. Okay, male or female? 6, female. Okay. This woman, she looks. Help me, please. It hurts. Addy rushes forward and begins to attempt to apply first aid to this wound. Addy is not trained in first aid, so this is going to simply be an ability check versus her wisdom to apply just a basic care of some sort to stop the bleeding. Can she do it? That's a 14. That is higher than her wisdom. Addy comes forward. I don't know. What do I do? Rafi, help! Rafi, help me! And Rafi comes up. Oh, you're hurt! And he comes forward and he's going to try to do what he can. That's a 10. His wisdom is, what's Rafi's wisdom? Yeah. 8. Nope, not happening. So he's like, roll more. Okay, I don't know. So this female human happens to resemble someone that Rafi knows. In fact, does Rafi know this person? I'm going to give it a 50-50. I like the idea, but there's always possibility for different stuff. So let's roll and find out. 4. Does Rafi know this person? I should have this chart memorized by now. 4. Yes, but. All right. So he does know this person. Elspeth, what are you doing here? Rafi, I could say the same to you, you lughead. All right, let's get her out of here. Let's get her out of here. So he knows this person, but she just looks at him. To think, after all this time, I'd owe you something, Rafi. Time enough for that later. Come on, let's get her out of here. So our two intrepid adventurers are going to make their way back, carrying this woman. Rafi is helping to, not carrying her, but she's going to lean on Addy's shoulder as Addy kind of guides her out of the sewer back the way they had come. And do they have an encounter on the way out? Because they've covered a bit of distance. Yes, they do. Okay, first let's mark down met, killed, red bandit, met Elspeth. Okay. So a random encounter. They do encounter something. What do they encounter? 1. They're going to encounter a giant rat on the way out. How'd that rat get there? It must have been a hole somewhere they missed. So they're making the way, just as they're passing by the giant rat nest. And a giant rat comes out of that nest. And it smells the blood and the ick on them. And it starts lunging towards them. Nobody's surprised by this at this point. But the giant rat starts lunging towards them, trying to get at the wounded woman and Emil. But let's roll initiative. So, our adventurers, a 3. The giant rat. 2. The adventurers go first. Addy kind of just shoves, as gently as she can, Elspeth to the side, whips out her dagger, and throws it at the giant rat. Can she hit it? She does get a +2 to this attack roll. That's a 15, 16, 17, so that's a hit. 1d6 minus 1 damage. That's 3 damage, minus 1 equals 2. Now, how many hit points does the rat have? The rat has 5, d6 minus 1, so 5 minus 1 is 4 hit points. It's lost half of its health in this one thing. Meanwhile, Rafi brings up his bow. Ha! I gotcha! Arrows flying. He doesn't get a bonus to this attack. And he rolls a 9. So he misses. Arrow flies off into the distance. Okay, but now it's the rat's turn. The rat, slightly wounded, turns its attention. It's hurt, but it smells dinner. It smells dinner. It's hungry. It's starving. And someone's invading its place. And it comes straight at this young woman trying to get her. Rolled 14. Oh dear. That's a hit. 5 minus 1 is 4 damage. How many hit points does this woman have? She's an NPC. Roll it. Oh boy. 2. Oh no. So just lunges for this woman straight past Addy as Addy threw the dagger. The dagger kind of hurt the creature, but it comes straight for her, and its jaws just clamp around her, and she shrieks in pain and falls to the ground. And because she'd already been wounded, she'd already been hurt, she falls to the ground and hits her head, and there's a loud crack as it strikes the stone floor, the curve where the wall curves down to the floor. Her head strikes it, and Addy goes, "No!" But that brings us to round 2. Monsters, roll. 1. Heroes. 4. Addy, in a feat of anger at seeing this person that she just was trying to help being perhaps killed, draws her sword and tries to stab down at the giant rat. +1 to this roll. Natural 20. 1 point of damage. So she stabs down. The rat is hurt. Rafi has another arrow with a string. No bonuses to him. He rolled 5. 5's not a 1. That's okay. Arrow again flies wide, off the wall. And the rat is going to attempt to run away. Let's see. We'll do initiative. If the rat goes... No, actually, it's the rat's turn. The rat's going to use its turn to dive for the hole. We're going to give the rat a sort of like the equivalent of a saving throw. It's trying to dive for this hole to escape. So it has to roll an 18 or higher on a d20 to be able to escape. That's a 13. The rat does not succeed in escaping. It spends its turn doing this. So now we roll for the next turn. Addy rolls a 5. Rat rolls a 1. Addy's going to come up behind this rat. You murderous beast! Stab! That's a 2. No hit. Another arrow from Rafi. That's an 18. There we go. 2 points of damage. That's enough, does it? The arrow Rafi finally gets a good shot. Arrow streaks forward. Strikes the rat, piercing its back. There's a tight pop, and the rat just crumples like a puppet with its strings cut to the ground and lands in the slush. And our 2 companions gather around the body of this woman, this Elsbeth, that they had just rescued, and realize that when she fell, she cracked open her head, and she now sits lifeless upon the floor. And Rafi, no! 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 And that's where we'll end today's session. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in. Peace be with you always. Bye-bye.